All right. So the question is, when will I be live? That seems to almost always be the limiting factor for information, and it's loading and we're live. Sweet. I gotta make sure there's no audio on this. Good, good. Now with that out of the way, I can do like this and then yes. So let's go ahead and get you guys in here. So if I go to YouTube and make this public, and I don't want it here, I don't want it draining. All right, is it running smoothly? I think that it is. Yeah. I guess the main question is if the thumbnail is working correctly. I guess that I'll never know. If one of you pop in here, can you go ahead and leave a message in chat just so that I know that it's working? That'd be nice. But other than that, I guess I'll just go ahead and as early as possible show my build so you guys can always come back here and, you know, copy it or do whatever you need to do with it. So this is it for Aura. Mainly I'm using the Empowered Quiver. And other than that, it's just Rolling Guard for defense and the mecha set, and then some sustainability with Streamline, Fleeting Expertise, so on, and we get all of our ability strength from blind raids. This is the main build on the Nataruk that I will be using. Is it public or is it not public? Now I don't know, because this thing doesn't update. Why do you not update? Hate you. I mean, it says that I'm streaming and it says that I'm just gonna assume that it's working, because that's the best I can do right now. Anyways, so Nataruk build here, we're gonna be playing against Grenier. I wish I had the primed version, but again, I'm not dropping 500 platinum on that right now. Yes, and that's the setup. The main difference here is that we've slotted in aptitude, because apparently this is the same family as what's it called, the Acaplasmor. So this gets a multiplicative buff instead of an additive one, which makes it very much so worth using. We're using this kit gun here, and it's just energizing shot and surprise so that I can use it while being in stealth. And here we have the thing is that this normally cannot be used on AoE AoE weapons, but that doesn't go for kit guns. So we're cheating the system a little bit. And then I'm just bringing the Paracesis just to have a melee weapon at all. All right. So I'm getting started a little bit early here because it takes multiple hours to get to level cap. So the sooner I can get going, the sooner I can be done. And I actually have something I need to do. Like once I'm done streaming today and we're on solo, yes. So it has to be now. Not exactly much is gonna happen here. It's not gonna be very interesting gameplay, but I kind of wanted to do this, and I thought it was maybe worth saving, archiving for the future. So that's what we'll do today. Gotta be more careful about my rolls. I'm not used to using rolling guards on my builds, actually. Ooh. And then this is basically it. We're just gonna sit here and we're gonna kill the enemies until we can't stand it no more. For the next 4 to 5 hours or so. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to doing this. Oh, I guess someone's here. Welcome. Appreciate the one like. I have a funny feeling I might know who it is then, but yeah, absolutely welcome. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to say, and I'm kind of regretting my decision a little bit, but then again, I guess it's worth it for like archive purposes. I'm actually surprised that we got the Nataruk in the state that we did, because I mean, let's be real, it's really, really, really overpowered, and weapons given in quest usually are not. Broken War was pretty strong, but honestly there were better options. This has in a way, as a non-explosive bow, this has become my go-to option. It's really, really good. Don't underestimate it. Yeah, this is this is it. This is pretty much this is all it's going to be. And the worst part is that for the first hour, the enemies basically doesn't scale, so it's only gonna increase by about 100 for the next hour. Then after that, it's you know, once we get to around hour 3 to 4, it's gonna increase by 200 every 5 minutes. So most of the scaling is gonna happen towards the end of this run. I just want to kill one level 9,999, and that's gonna be that. That'll be it. That's all I want to do. If I can do that, then I'll be happy. I'll be happy like a lark, whatever that means. Okay, yeah, don't run out of life support this early. That would not be good. That would not be good. Hello there. Good to see someone's here. Like, I can never tell who or how many people are here, because like sometimes YouTube were like, oh, there is no one watching the stream for 10 minutes, and meanwhile people were like commenting and I was responding to them. So I can't really trust the statistics that I'm getting from YouTube, not in that regard at least. This is not the best spot, it would seem. I'm not getting enough kills. It's because the enemies are kind of standing behind this bend a little bit. But the problem is, if I walk forward, then they're gonna start spawning behind me, and that's not exactly good either. But I might just have to do that unless something happens which is gonna speed this up very soon. Let's just keep going like this and see what happens. Another life support is now available, and hopefully we will not have to get a single one. I will consider that a major failure. I did test this build earlier on just to see if it could handle level 1000 enemies, and it was doing pretty fine. And then I stopped because I didn't want to like ruin the surprise. But yeah, it was doing pretty okay. At that point, if you don't get the slash chance from Hunter Munition, you're just not gonna kill the enemies. But that actually makes the build a little bit more efficient, because if you strike the enemy with the mark of the mecha set on them and they don't die, it's because you didn't bleed them. So you have to bleed them in order to kill them, which means you will always spread the bleeding effect to all nearby enemies. So here I gotta do it without aiming, I think. I didn't get lucky. But basically, if we crit an enemy while we have the mecha buff on them, then it will spread to all nearby enemies, which is basically a complete and total screen wipe. Haven't gotten it quite yet, and we probably won't see it for a while, but let's be honest, we don't really need it at this moment anyways. What, Acolyte? Did you see something? Because I didn't. Alright. We're just gonna keep eating through this. I feel like it gets a lot more exciting once we get to around the 3-hour mark. But, I mean, I probably shouldn't say that, but it's kind of true. Not much happens. I think it's faster to do disruption, but I also feel like that's kind of cheating a little bit. Because then you can just bring... Oh, there it happened. The mega set triggered. Because then you can just bring Ass with his Seeking Shuriken augment and strip down the Acolytes... Oh, sorry, not the Acolytes, but the Demolists. Down to, well, no defensive layers, and then kill them very easily. I mean, what's cheating and what's not cheating is kind of debatable, but I feel like this is doing a proper 9,999 level cap of enemies in this game. It's just gonna take a little while, but who cares, right? It's definitely worth the investment of time. I normally don't do this kind of content because, to be honest with you, once I've been in a mission like this for, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2-3 hours, I get really bored, and then I just exit out of them. But I feel like, as someone with this many hours in the game who make build videos and so on and so forth, I should probably just go ahead and do one of these, right? I feel like that makes some semblance of sense, and maybe it doesn't, but I don't know. I'm doing it, whatever. This is what I want to do for the stream today, and next time I will most definitely not do another one of these. This will be a one-time occurrence. What kind of content would you guys like to see me do on streams? Is there something that you'd be interested in? I mean, trading is probably going to be really boring, but maybe relics or something could be interesting enough. Maybe that would be worthy of the live stream content. I don't know. I could maybe do some focus farming, but that's just done a little bit too quickly, and I can't really control how long Eidolon's gonna be available for. Maybe you could do a combination of all of them, but I just feel like there's some content which would be more interesting for a streaming sort of purpose compared to just playing the game normally, where I would never do Eidolon hunts when just playing like with myself and no one else and without an audience. I don't know. I guess you guys would have to tell me, give me some feedback somewhere. Maybe I can make a poll on the Discord or something. Because it's always like, it's more fun to create for an audience if, well, you're creating for that audience. It's not really a question of selling out and just doing whatever people want you to do for notoriety, but it definitely is more fun when you have an audience to create. Needless to say, I feel like, but some people seem to think that it's all about you know, the numbers, which it's not only about the numbers. Now, don't get me wrong, when my growth was at its highest, when I was getting 15 subscribers a day, that felt pretty good, and obviously that's just numbers. But if that was all it was, then I would have quit a long time ago, because that's not a strong enough of a factor to keep me going. Now, at some point when these enemies start getting a little bit more difficult, we'll have to start using our wire here. I'm just gonna put it there. Perfect. So now, while I'm on the wire, I'm going to do a lot more headshot damage. I think it's a 2.7 multiplier to headshot damage. As you can see, we're just ripping through them. We don't want to do that right now because it actually diminishes our chance of getting a mecha buff. Trigger the mecha effect, where we slash all the enemies. And I didn't get it there. Shame. What a shame. I'm going to grab all of you guys. Get over here. Come on, do it. There. And then I'm just gonna kill all of you at once and get all of your delicious, delicious life support. All of your life force will be mine. And we are we're 8 minutes in to this 4-hour run. Boy, I'm looking forward to this. Boy, I'm looking forward to this. Maybe I should have done it with someone, but I hardly imagine that anyone would be insane enough to try and do this with me. I mean, it's such a long, insane experience. But maybe I'm just wrong about that. Who knows? I didn't really ask, so how would I know? Not that that's anyone's fault. That's my fault alone. But I'm just saying I kind of made a bit of a mistake there. I think I got it. Yeah, everything's gonna die now. Okay, can I get another mecha? It's not a buff, but like what to call it? Trigger, debuff effect? I don't know. It's not like it matters a incredibly large amount, anyways. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm slightly blown away, I guess, by the insanity that is the Nataruk. And like it comes with 4 polarities as well, so it's one of those like very, very, very few weapons in the game which actually is just powerful out of the box. Like how many weapons can you really say that about? At least most weapons require a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of love in order to get to their maximum potential. Not so much with this one. Even without mods in it, it still does a lot of damage. The fact that like red crits are pretty much more or less built into it, it just requires 2 critical mods. It almost feels like the old Blood Rush before it was nerfed. You know, back in the day, okay, say back in the day, it's not that long ago, but it used to give 112% critical chance just per combo multiplier. So even at the time of getting a 2 combo multiplier, you would already have as much critical chance as using the Umbra Sacrifice. Which, whoa, I did not expect you to spawn there, but that's fine. No big deal. We're good. That wasn't close. That wasn't close. I wasn't worried. You were worried. Shut up. I don't know why he spawned there. He's supposed to spawn here. So I don't know what's up with that. But that's fine. I'm not dead and we can move on. No big deal. No big deal. I think if we can survive for, let's just say 10 minutes without dropping any substantial amount of life support once we hit level 9,000 and 90,000, then that will be good enough. I have heavily considered running some kind of punch-through mod on this build, such as Primed Threat, but the main issue with that is that, I mean, I have to remove another mod in order to make room for it, and I can't really imagine what I'd like to get rid of in order to, you know, make that build work. So I haven't done it yet for that very reason. I'm not exactly a build expert either. I'm sure that this build is horribly inefficient in many different ways, but I specialize in good enough. And right now this feels really good. Like, you wouldn't necessarily suspect that I'm playing on the steel path, would you? I mean, I feel like people like Nightmare Frame has sort of moved the expectation of what it means to play on the steel path. He just makes it look so easy. And, you know, it can be. I have a couple of builds that make the early game easy, but to be able to prevail and overcome these insane scalings that we'll be dealing with, you really need a specialized build, I feel like. I think it was Nightmare Frame or the guy whose name I can never pronounce, that's spelled F-J-N something, Fien or something like that. But one of them did a comprehensive all Warframes at level 9,999 billion, which just proves that all of the Warframes can do it. So I guess it's not that difficult, but then again, only a handful of players, I feel like, will ever be able to push to the point where they can actually complete a run like this, just because you need a really solid, or at least decently solid setup. And it just takes a while to farm out this stuff. Warframe is very heavy when it comes to its farming, especially for new players. You have to keep in mind that I at least gradually has been able to farm a lot of the different stuff as it was added. But, you know, a new player will have to do a lot of catching up. And while there is some help, such as, well, a good example would be Oxium. The drones only used to drop one Oxium, and it wasn't even guaranteed that he would drop one. So it was extremely difficult to get your hands on it. But now it's quite a bit easier. You get a lot from each drone, and drones spawn more often. And we have the steel path with double drop chance. Trouble. And all in all, you can farm a lot of Oxium very quickly. But can you imagine having to farm for Oxium with the old method? I mean, I think I would have lost my mind long ago if I had to try and do that. The other part of it is this horrible resource called Nitrum Extract. And you guys might, if you're new to the game, you might think, well, what's so bad about that stuff? It doesn't seem so bad to me. You can get a lot of it from the Nightwave. And you'd be right about that. But the problem is that we didn't have the Nightwave beforehand. And the way that you got it was truly, truly awful. You would like, once in a while, there would be a mission that would just appear at random. And, you know, sometimes you wouldn't get one for multiple days. And then while it was available, which was not for a terribly long amount of time, by the way, you'd have to do it, and then you'll get one nitrile extract. Right? And so, I mean, what if you needed 5 or 6 for a single primed warframe? Right? Then you'd just be basically completely screwed. I remember I installed a app on my phone so that it would like alert me whenever Nitron Extract was available. It was the absolute most insane bottleneck of resources back then. If you can kind of imagine how what's called the Umbra Forma is, that's kind of how Nitron Extract used to be. You could also go ahead and do sabotage and then open up all of the caches in those missions in order to have a chance to maybe go ahead and get one Nitron Extract as well. So yeah, it was suffering. And for the most part, I just ignored it. I feel like if they hadn't changed it, then I would not have maxed out. But luckily, they were kind enough to give us a little bit of a break and at least make it... Well, I mean, a little bit of a break, what am I saying? It's incredibly available now. It's not even a difficult resource to acquire. I have... What do I have? I have like 70 excess of just yeah, I have way too much of it, and you don't use it for that much stuff, so it's kind of become a little bit of a joke. But back to what I was saying before, for new players, it's even more difficult than it was for me, because they're starting from zero, just like I did, but also they're like 6 years behind, and the game has had 6 years more of creeping content. And since there's a lot of veteran players in the game now, who like, the problem is that people will complain if like, oh, there's no content, whatever, and they have like 6,000, 7,000, 4,000 hours in the game at least. It's like, yeah, no shit, there is no content, you played all of it. So DE has to make stuff really tedious to grind in order for there to be enough content to satisfy these people, and that leads to a really horrible experience for the rest of us who really don't care about that kind of stuff. But now we have to deal with things. Well, it's like you almost always need like 3 or 4 more of what feels reasonable when farming something out. I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Are you using the Sibling augment? Yes, I'm using the empowered quiver for sure. I'm just choosing not to make use of it at this moment, because I'm using the mecha setup with the aura mod and everything, and I want it to trigger as often as possible. And if I have to hit enemies more often, more times to kill them, then there's a higher chance that one of those attacks will be a slash, which will cause them to bleed, and I want that to spread to all the enemies. That's why you can see I have my wire ready here, but I'm not going to use it yet. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit slow until we hit at least the 2nd hour, but you know, it's okay. We'll get there eventually. Just have to be a little bit patient. That's something which I'm usually pretty good at, but not right now. Can I get some enemies? Thank you. Oh, there it is. Hold still. Please, slash. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. Hunter Munition unfortunately only gives us a 30% chance. And we can't increase that any further. I guess I could go ahead and remove my cold mod and replace it with a serration slash kind of mod, just so that I'd have a little bit of a higher chance to crit. But the problem is that this weapon is not favored to slash in the first place, so even if you apply a slash mod to it, you're not gonna get that many slash attacks, which is unfortunate, but it's just the way that things are. I can't really tell what's going on with the stream. It's being a little bit weird. Are you guys experiencing any kind of lag or like choppiness or something like that? Because it seems like there's I don't know. It's just looking a little bit weird when I'm looking at the waves, the connection of people over time. It's following a strange curve, I guess is all I'll say. I'm not, you know. Yeah, it's weird because I have 2 wedges open at the same time, which gives me information about the stream, and one of them is like, oh, there's like 5 people watching at the same time, and then there's a second one that's like, no, there's only 3 people watching at the same time, and I'm like, what does that mean? How can 3 and 5 people be watching at the same time? I don't understand. Oh, I'm about to run out of... This spot is not really the best, is it? I think I'm gonna die. Oh no, this isn't good. You're gonna go down, and I'm gonna get the life support, and then we're all gonna be happy. We're gonna be so happy. Where's the life support? There's glass in the way. Okay, I'm not stressed. You're stressed. The spot I had the other day were better, but also like I was doing really well. No, there's no lag. Oh, thanks goodness for that. Like the spot I had yesterday must have been a lot better because I was not struggling for life support even once. But but now I am, which is, you know, that's very unfortunate. Go ahead and give me all of your life support, and then I'll try and find a better location to set up in, because this is not working out as I wanted to. Let's see, there's one down here. Let's grab that while we're here, because I don't think we'll come back. I'm not resetting now, so we're just gonna have to make do with what we've got, which is not a lot, I guess. Alright. Get this. All right. Okay, there's some narrow hallways here. Let's see if I log out here. Please be a dead end. No. Okay, let's try and see down here. No. No. How about this one? I guess this could work. Let's give it a go. Lead him. No. Oh, God damn it. They're kind of hiding behind this pillar here, which is definitely gonna be an issue. Let me try from this angle. Hopefully nothing will spawn in here. It's worth a try. It's worth a try. It seems like there's a good number of enemies here, so that's something, right? I'll try back up a little bit further in the hope of them just walking in front of me a little bit more often. It seems like it's working. Okay, now we're ready for that. And then it's just killing time. Oh yeah, this is much better. Much better. I'll just deal with the enemies as they spawn behind me. It's no big deal. Oh yeah, we're definitely sustaining ourselves now. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit more tedious doing this for 3 more hours, but hey, who really cares, right? There it is. There is the effect of the mecha set. I mean, this has to work because I don't get another opportunity to do this for a long time. So we just have to make it happen today. It is basically now or never. And it won't be never. It will never be never. Why do the mark keep spawning behind me? That is very unfortunate. Oh, have you really? Wonderful. Love you, Lotus. Also, can I just mention how weird it is that the Lotus is literally back after 4 years of not being there? I was kind of hoping for more, with also new spoilers for the new war, by the way. I was hoping for more out of the story, just some kind of conclusion, but no. Era just kind of gets squashed, and then Ballas is just, I mean, he might as well have been squashed because he was not like I mean, I don't want to say he was a wasted character, but it kind of feels like it. I kind of feel like they could have done something more with him, but he just ends up being a maniac like all the others. His reasoning doesn't really make sense towards the end. He's captured the entire system, and now, like, why is he killing, like, the system that he now controls? Yeah, I understand he want to go to Tau, but what? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it feels like they ran out of time, not gonna lie. But it's okay, the quest was only delayed for 2 years, so it's understandable that it's, you know, that they didn't have enough time to finish it. Any specific? Well, I mean, I need some polymer bundles, and I also just like it a lot. I think it's great. If you get really lucky, you can get these corridors. Basically what I have here, but just with nothing behind me, and then you can just sit there and shoot down one long corridor for the entire time. If the enemies are too spread out, it can also be a problem. And this, for the most part, this tile set is very vertical. I'm sorry, it's not very vertical. I don't want verticality. I want them to be on one level so that I can more easily get to them. Okay, I need to... Oh god, it's this guy. Hold on, I need to focus for a second. There we go. Mania is definitely one of those acolytes which can actually kill me. But yeah, as I was saying, in general, I don't like this tile set because of the underwater part, which I cannot stomach. But if I just have to sit in one spot for 4 hours anyways, I'm perfectly content with being here. Just, I mean, as you can see, they're pretty much all just lining up for me. I'm casting in snare once in a while to group up enemies, and then I just keep doing this. And, you know, doing so, I know I'll be fine. Not too much can go wrong. I say, but I will probably die at some point. I tend to always die once when trying these long runs, especially from the acolytes. Once in a while, I'm just in my own little world, not paying attention after I don't know how many hours. And yeah, it happens. I get grabbed, or I get knocked down and insta-killed, or I get infected by whatever poison kills me, or I get ripped out of invincibility and then killed by some of the normal enemies. Just like that. Except I was the one doing it there. Like a dumbass. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Eventually, I just end up doing something really stupid. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it. I was considering running Toxin on this as well. It's because I was thinking that perhaps if I could spread Toxin to one of the mecha enemies, that might be interesting. And that's still on the table. I'll definitely try that a different day, but right now I'm content with just cold and slashing for a lot. I really feel like they need to do something about the balance of the game right now. It's a little bit ridiculous that Slash is this strong. Maybe I should say it's ridiculous that everything else in the game is this weak. But whenever I manage to spread a Slash proc to at least level 1000 enemies on the steel path, they just die instantaneously. All of them, even the heavy units. Maybe that's a little bit too much, I'm just saying. I mean, I guess you could argue that the problem could be, what's it called, the armor itself, because it does scale a little bit ridiculously. I mean, you can deal millions of damage, but if the enemies are running around with 99.9999% damage reduction, it's not really going to do you any good, is it? Especially when there is this magic pill, which is Slash, that just allows you to completely ignore all of this damage reduction. I mean, what's up with that? Something else is that I did consider running Viral on this bow, but again, I can't really find room for it. The main thing that makes it so difficult to mod this weapon is that it has, you know, it's multiplicative with aptitude, so I can't really give up on that. I need all of my critical. I cannot live without my red crits. I need some damage mod, so that would have to be either cold with Toxin, or heat, potentially. Yeah, I could run heat as well. I probably should run heat now that I think about it. Actually, why am I not running heat on this? Wait. I don't know why I only just realized this now, but heat would be really strong on this, because it would also strip the armor, and you would basically be applying it over and over again. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But I can't make room for Viral, I don't think. If one of you guys have a suggestion of how I could maybe like get that to work, I would appreciate seeing it down there. Yeah, cheat elements, status that completely negate all of this scaling. Yes, S-Box for Grania and entire Toxin. Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit ridiculous, and it's a little bit counterintuitive in terms of the status effects, because I mean, let's be honest, right? As a new player, you're not gonna understand what's going on most of the time. I mean, I know you get some hints of like, oh, this faction is weak to this and whatever, but I mean, that's not how it works, right? It's either you run Slash or you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle a lot. So for veteran players, the game is disgustingly easy because, I mean, look at this. Right? And for new players, they're just sitting there with their Soma Prime and chopping away at enemies, not understanding this idea of bypassing defensive layers, and they're just not dealing any damage at all. So it's either one shot or no damage. But I mean, that's whatever. They fucked up the scaling. Was it like 6 years ago now? And they just never fixed it. And they just introduced cheat after cheat after cheat to make up for the fact that, well, it doesn't really flow well, does it now? I mean, I guess that's objective, but for me, it doesn't. I'll say that much. Especially with Grania, which at least Corpus have the nullifiers, and the Infested have their toxin clouds that you still have to be a little bit careful of. But I can just sit invisible here and just do this. And yeah, the Grania, which used to be the most difficult of the faction tapes, just because of their armor, is now a laughingstock. I never thought I'd live to see that day, but they kind of are. I mean, honestly. Well, I mean, I've never done a full level 9,000, 9 billion and trillion level cap before. So maybe I'm like, I should be careful about what I say, because if I end up not being able to complete this, then I'll look like a complete idiot. It's a cursed feedback loop. Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right. I think what he means by this is that new players will keep telling them that it's too difficult. So the solution is to add this cheat function that the game is now so heavily balanced around that you can't get rid of it. So they keep adding more and more ways to cheat the system, but it's so counterintuitive that the new players can't benefit from it, so they keep complaining about it. So DE keeps thinking that it's too difficult, so they keep adding more cheat methods. And I mean, okay, I mean, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here, but I don't think DE plays their own game. It doesn't feel like it. A lot of the stuff that comes out just, I mean, it's so obvious that the combo is there and it's gonna break the game, but they don't see it coming. So since they don't play the game, they just rely on this feedback. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to fix it at this point, because we're so far down the rabbit hole of armor is. I mean, I guess you could just nerf the scaling of armor, couldn't you? And then take away some of the more cheatsy bits of the game. You know, naturally. I mean, actually, if you just give them more health instead of armor, that would fix the problem. Now that I think about it. Because that way, these status such as heat, corrosive, well, no, then viral would be too strong. Damn. I guess you'd have to at least nerf viral a little bit, but in either case, viral do need a little bit of a nerf, right? The balance between guns. Made by buffing the guns. Yeah. I mean, they also nerfed melee a lot. I mean, melee really needed a nerf. And keep in mind, by the time of the Arsenal Divide update, melee had already been nerfed into the ground. And no, I mean, not into the ground, because it was still viable, but it was just a shadow of what it was before, wherein it was incredibly powerful. In case you guys don't know, what's it called? Condition overload. It used to be a multiplicative mod that scaled with itself. So you would get 112% of your damage, and then you'd get 112% of 112% of your damage, and then you'd get 112% of that damage for each status chance you had. I mean, isn't it obvious why this is super duper broken? Yeah, I know that disruption would be a lot easier to get to level cap. I could just bring Ass and use his Seeking Shuriken augment, but I also feel like that's not. I mean, I guess I'm just an old fart, but I feel like this is the true level cap. It's survival, and since it's my first level cap, at least I want to do it here. If I just wanted to read it, yeah, I know I could have done that. All condition overload was extremely multiplicative. I know. I mean, I think you could get something like 16,000% damage just by using that alone. Like, what? Are you kidding me? I mean, that's balance, right? 16,000% more damage from one mod? I think that's about right. And then there was also the absurd interaction between Maiming Strike, which no one uses now, but like in my day, that was a really overpowered mod. So you would use what's it called? Blood Rush, and you would use Maiming Strike. And Maiming Strike set your critical chance to a specific amount while slide attacking. So the way that you would circumvent this was by using Blood Rush, which gives you a bonus in game, which means that it triggers after Maiming Strike. So that way you could get red crits on any melee weapon just by using this combo, no matter how low critical chance they had. So using polearms with extremely long range and a really high critical multiplier would allow you to just do insane amounts of damage. Like, it was actually stupid how much you could do, just red crits on everything. How long does it take to reach survival? Levels? I don't know. I don't know. It's really slow in terms of getting to the level cap in survival. I expect this to take at least 4 hours and maybe 4.5. For the first like 2 hours, nothing happens. As you can see, they're barely scaling right now. But once you get past the 3-hour mark, they will start increasing by about 200 each 5 minutes or something like that. So it really starts to ramp up after that. So yeah, my best guess is 4.5 hours. It's what the engineer prefer to call absolute additive stacking. But it's not additive if it's a multiplicative of itself, then it would have to be a absolute multiplicative stacking, right? Which, as far as I'm aware, doesn't exist in the game anymore. At least not to my knowledge. You've chosen solo mode so you can pull. Yes, exactly. I almost joined this mission as a friends only. And then I was like, wait, no. That's not a good idea. So yes, I went back and I put it in solo only. So in case I do need a break, I can just take one. Not that I have much time to spare because I do have something which I need to do after this. But, oh shit, life support. But yeah, if I absolutely need to, I can take a break. Yeah, but that's a good observation. And I almost did it stupid. But yeah, I never do these long survivals, but it's a lot more fun to do it when you guys are here so that I can chat with you instead of just sitting here and staring at this for like I don't know how long. I'm talking in meaning stacking it at absolute. Oh yeah. Okay, you're talking about the yeah. Blood Ross and Maiming Strike combo. Yeah, I guess that would be how that works. Also, for those of you who are a little bit more knowledgeable about like the damage part of the game and more about trading, I know that Arcane Avenger is an absolute buff, so it gives you what it says on the Arcane, which means that it always gives you 60% critical damage, irregardless of the critical damage of the weapon itself. Do we have any other like absolute bonuses like that in the game at this moment in time? Because I know that Melee used to have a lot of those, but it feels like they've pretty much all been removed from the game little by little. So that it's mostly multiplicative and additive at this point. I really look forward to getting past the first hour mark. Gets a lot more interesting after that. Let me tell you. Especially after the second one. You know, when I was testing this, I was like, I've been doing it for 2 hours and I'm only at level 600. I am literally never going to get there. And then it just jumped up to 1,000. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it almost did. Pretty much over, I think, like 35 minutes, it jumped up the next 400. And then it just kept going at a very, very high pace. I don't like that you can see me while the Acolyte is there. Go away. Maybe armor from Oberon is still absolute. I don't know. Oberon, it's from his, I don't remember what it's called, but his Turf of Grass. That's where you get the armor bonus from, right? I don't think that it's the renewal. Or am I wrong about that? Because if it is absolute, then wow, that's good. Holy hell, that's good. Imagine playing him with Chroma, then you would get, let's just say, a lot of armor. I feel like that could be kind of fun. That's a little bit. I mean, it's very gimmicky, but that could be a fun combo to like pull off with you and a couple of your friends. I mean. I don't want to say that you would be unkillable, but the build that I have on Chroma right now, which is just focused around armor and not that much else, at least the one where I use Vex armor instead of Satyrs Whisper. When I'm using Arcane Guardian on top of that with what's it called, the Arcane Grace, I am actually unkillable. I can just sit still in steel paths with level 200 enemies attacking me and I'm just not dying because, well, obviously. I mean, when you're running around with 99.999% damage reduction, you're not gonna go down very easily, are you now? That's great. Okay, I need you guys' opinion on something, and obviously it only applies if you've used both of these weapons. But have you considered the Kuva Brahma is obviously very powerful. I think we already know this. All of us who's ever used this weapon understand where it powers, where its powers lies. But which one is more powerful right now? Is it the Kuva Brahma or is it the Natarug? Maybe also the armor, arcanes, and the magus. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I mean, in terms of the magus vigor, which gives health to the operator, doesn't that just scale off the operator's base health? If you could change, well, I mean, what's different from the magus arcane vigor to something like vitality, which, oh yeah, you're right, because it's not based on, yeah, it's not a percentage, it's a flat number, right? Yeah. I gotcha. That's true. Arcanes. Yeah. I mean, how does how is it that what's called Guardian work? I know it gives you a lot of armor and it makes it very tanky, and that's been good enough for me. But in terms of what does and does it not scale with? So like basically what I'm asking here is, you have something like Guardian. Does it scale with Steel Fiber? Does it scale with Chroma's buff? What does it scale with? What is it? Is it additive or multiplicative? And in which circumstances is it which? That's mainly what I'm curious about. Chroma is strong, but I prefer Kuvasar. I mean, okay, someone explain to me then, how the hell can the Kuvasar be better than the Kuva Brahma? I mean, I do not understand this. I mean, that's not to be condescending, but I want to try and understand where its strength lies, because for me, the Kuva Brahma, which never has to reload, and which, as far as I can tell, deals a lot more damage overall, is better. I mean, yeah, personal preference is fine, but I have so many kinds of mods lately. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a lot of endo at all. Not at all. I only have 6,000, 100,000, 600,000. It's basically the same thing. Actually, to be honest with you, most of my endo, it comes from playing Railjack, Voidstorm specifically. You get a lot of scrap, and after just playing it for a day or two, I usually have around 40,000 just in scrap. You get a surprising amount, especially if you have a practice team who can do a Voidstorm in about 2 minutes. You can really crank in a lot of scrap like that. That comes out to about, just from the scrap alone, not counting the endo rewards in the missions, but just the scrap alone, you can get about 700 in 3 minutes or 2 minutes if you're really fast. If you have a like super practice team that can do it in a minute and a half and then get out. Kings is absolute, and it doesn't scale with nothing. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Nothing is added. Linear. Scaling anyways. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Like, could you imagine if it scaled with something? I mean, if Guardian scaled with these other abilities, Rama. August, let me go through Steel Path Masons. Points for these endurance, of course. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I have tried SAR and August and all of those other like Hoover weapons, the explosive ones, but I've always just thought that Kuva Brahma was so much better because of it doesn't really have any limitations. You can just keep shooting and shooting and shooting, especially with the Neo Merciless primary arcane. That I always found that the Kuva Brahma was just the best. I just got the most mileage out of it in almost every situation. and therefore I've been defaulting to it a little bit without really giving the other weapons a fair chance. What is it that August and the SAR offers that Kurama doesn't have? More single target damage, perhaps? Yeah. Also, that reminds me, have you guys tried out the new Boreal Contempt? It's one of the new rare mods you get from like the mod sets from the Nama bounties. It's actually kind of insane, and I don't know why it just went over my head when I picked it up, but it gives you melee damage, which is fine. That's okay. You can get that from other mods as well, but it actually just straight up gives you more status damage. I don't think I've ever seen that effect anywhere else on a mod. Certainly I've seen it elsewhere in the game, but not on a mod before. It's limited to polearms, but that's not really a limitation when you consider how powerful polearms still are, even now after all of the nerfs. I mean, I put it on a extreme budget build, and we're talking like 10,000 endo, and it was really good. Like it did really well on the steel path, considering how like extraordinarily cheap it was. Where you shoot, yeah, that's true. I guess it's just this personal preference in the end. I've also heard some people say that the Tenet Convoy, it's the missile launcher where you can control your missiles after you shoot them, is supposedly as good as the Brahma. I haven't played enough with it that I can really say one or the other. But the fact that you have to reload really kills the fun for me. I don't like reloading, especially on a explosive weapon. I guess I'm a little bit spoiled because of the Kura Brahma. Power blades. Oh yeah. It's the polearm. Yeah, that's true. I don't think you would want to use Boreal's Contempt on the new, what's it called, the Koram, I think, the new polearm. I don't think you want to use Boreal's Contempt on that, because you would want to use it on a weapon with Slash, because, you know, Slash is the best, status chance, status damage effect, whatever, in the game right now. So you'd probably want to use it on August Prime, or the, what's it called, the Guandeo Prime. That one has a decent amount of Slash as well. The new mod action is better. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? It's basically more dot damage, and luckily dot damage isn't very powerful in this game already. I don't know. It's a bit weird, because I feel like it's the set you'd use on specifically Zephyr, because Titania doesn't get benefits from, being in the air when she's using her fourth ability. So it's specifically for her, because it gives you less damage taken while in the air. But it doesn't really make sense for her to be using it, since he can deflect all projectiles. He doesn't want to be close to the enemies. That's the last thing which Zephyr would want to do. So, I mean, it's a bit weird. Like, I'm sorry, Zephyr, but it seems like you've been shafted once again. She really hasn't been the most lucky of Warframes in terms of viability. Though, with her most recent rework and the Steel Path being so prevalent, I guess she's not the worst. Okay, I have a question for you guys. So, I know which my least favorite frame is, but I'd like to, before I tell you, I'd like to hear from you, what's your, or not least favorite, but which frame do you think is the weakest in the game right now? I guess weakest / most useless. Oh, that is, I really love whenever you get whenever you hit the enemies with one of your what's it called? I can't remember, the mecha effect, whatever. And they just all die, like all the ways throughout the wall. You just see a line of white numbers as everything just slowly melts and dies. I don't know. It's quite nice. I really enjoy it. It's candy for my eyes. Hydroid, yes, good answer, good answer. But actually, he's not the weakest slash most useless to me. The reason why I would not consider Hydroid to be the worst is that I still like using him for farming. Basically, because it's a bit difficult to farm with him using his ultimate for the additional drop chance using the Pilfering Swarm augment. But if you run him with Banshee, then he can very easily one-shot enemies even on the still path, if Banshee is casting buff often enough. So with that, you can actually farm efficiently with him, and in that way, he actually has a higher like loot bonus than someone like Korra. So for that sense, he's not completely useless, but I would never use him in a survival on his own. No fucking way. Trapping enemies, he sucks surviving. Yeah, I mean, he's not a good survival frame, especially if you want to solo. Oh man, you're gonna struggle if you bring Hydroid. Yes, in that aspect, I agree very much so. For me, the frame which has the most problems right now is Irelia, our second to newest frame. Unlike Caliban, who actually comes out with some decent useful abilities and some scaling, Irelia doesn't have that. And she has a really huge problem in the sense that, you know, we've had frames in the past like let me see, frames with we have Baruch, for example, or we have Garuda, which came out with bad scaling, but at least they had some scaling. It really doesn't have anything. I mean, I don't understand how, like, DE still don't understand that frames need, if an ability does damage and only damage, then it has to scale. Not to mention the fact that he has one of the worst CCs in the entire game right now. I mean, it's almost hilarious. I mean, you're spending 25 energy at base for a CC that, you know, needs line of sight and can only affect 5 enemies. Are you kidding me? You know, her ultimate performs the best on Steel Path just because there's more enemies. But, I mean, when you're 10 minutes into a survival, that's not going to do anything for you. The same with Aqua Blades, no scaling. It's just hopeless, unfortunately. Because she doesn't even have any numbers which you can tweak. She needs a complete rework. Busted since release. Yeah. Sona weak points. So OP, they make multiplicative stain damage. Yeah. I hear you. The thing, basically, in case you guys don't know, there's an augment for Banshee, which allows, when you kill an enemy with weak spots on them, the weak spots is then applied to other enemies around them. So you can keep using the same weak spots over and over and over again. So Banshee can just sit in the corner and spam her sonar again and again and again, applying her weak spot buff a million different times to the point where the enemies are just one glowing mass, and you can very easily get 4 or 5 of these weak points to overlap with one another. And the thing is that if you hit that point which is overlapping, yeah, then you'll get a multiplicative damage buff from all of them, right? So they scale off one another. Which, I mean, are you kidding me? But it's weird to me because, I mean, you and I and probably a couple of people know that this is completely busted, but there's also a lot of players who, yeah, Sona breeds certs. But it's one of those things where, like, we know that it's busted, but I feel like there's a lot of casual players who would just think that Banshee is completely useless. I mean, Wisp as well. It's not exactly obvious how her abilities work, is it now? I feel like they could maybe have done a little bit of a better job with that. I don't know. I must admit that I was a little bit naive when I first looked at Wisp. So maybe it's just me, but I just looked at her and I thought, well, she's useless. She doesn't have any useful abilities. She's just a support. And then immediately people started using her to break the damage cap. So that wasn't good. It really is a throwaway frame. Let's go to grab. Yes, yes, I hear you. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, long number here brings up a really good point actually, and it's that Irelia was basically, just being honest, right? He was a throwaway frame. You know, he wanted the magic girl. I guess he's an idol maybe. He wanted that design, and he was definitely made from, different frames starts the journey in different places. Some are a concept, others are a ability, which is then later built into a kit, which then is put onto a frame with a design. It really was just meant to be this magical girl, and that's it. That's all she ever was meant to be. And because of that, they never cared about her abilities. Like I can't believe that they did, at least. You would have a tough time convincing me, that's for sure. So yeah, maybe they could have tried a little bit harder there. Yeah, it's true. Sonar is inherently broken, but I feel like Sonar isn't really as much of a problem as something like Saren's spores, even though, Sonar is definitely more powerful than the spores in terms of like high level play and so on and so forth. But I feel like everyone knows that spores are overpowered, right? As well as my Eczema. They might not understand exactly how overpowered or how to play it, but most people use the hell out of Saren because, well, she's a good frame and people know that. I was not paying attention! But yeah, as I was saying, people don't use Banshee, so maybe it's okay that she's overpowered. It doesn't really break the game if most people aren't using her. I don't know. Also, they don't really nerf individual stuff. It's always like, the entire... If they're gonna nerf something, it's usually the mods for melee weapons, so they're using the entirety of... nerfing the entirety of melee. Not so much a specific melee weapon. The only instance I can think of where a weapon was directly nerfed was actually Kuwabrama, because it got to the point where I think it was 73% of people exclusively used the Kuwabrama as their primary weapon, so that probably was a little bit too strong. It's Gesta. Ah, Gesta. I see. Okay, I'll try and remember that. I'll do my best. I'm horrible with names, so you'll have to excuse me if I completely butcher it. No, Banshee's not used that much. This one is still... Squads did numbers. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Yes. I remember. I wanted to farm Oracle cells like way back, and some people were like, they were doing it with me, but they were randoms. And so I told them, okay, we got everything. I'm just gonna bring Banshee. They're like, why the hell would you bring Banshee? Like, she's horrible. Me. Oh, that's you. What? Okay, I mean, I learned something new every day. That's surprising. Yeah, so Discord just went off. If you want to know what's going on, I guess you'll have to head over there and take a look at that. How about that? Okay, almost over the 1 hour mark. We're doing great. I mean, it's me doing all the work, but I feel like we're all doing great. Yeah, but anyways, so Banshee, right? We're talking about Banshee. So yeah, I was playing with these randoms, and I was like, I'm gonna bring Banshee, and they were like, okay, whatever, dude. We have what we need, so it's fine. So I brought Banshee, and I kept spamming the Sonar, and they were using Hydrate, and they were just... I mean, we went for about 3 hours, and they just kept one-shotting everything with the tentacles. And they were like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, that's the power of Banshee. And it was like, how did I know about this? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't understand. Maybe it's like worth a video. Nah, I feel like most of the people who watch me is more or less in tune with most of the hidden aspects of the game. Just as trading is... Well, let's just say that the people who are interested in trading usually is also very much aware of the niches of the game. Niche knowledge, I mean. But yeah, it was really funny. They were just completely blown away by it. But yeah, I mean, they weren't using Semtexagon either for farming, so I guess that would explain a lot. Brute force. Yeah. True that. Discord, what the hell did you just say? Okay, so people are still discussing Aya farming. I feel like so I'm gonna make one final video on Aya. So if you guys have something which, you know, I'm talking for the last chance. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about which relics you can invest in and how much you can expect to get from them and so on and so forth. But if there's something which you guys feel like I haven't explained properly in my other videos, it would be a good idea to tell me now, so that I can make a final summary and get as much knowledge out there before it disappears this time around. I have a hunch that it will come back in the future, but we'll see about that. I don't even think DE knows yet, but considering that Vasi Dax will stay behind after the event ends on Maru's Bazaar, that alone makes me think that yeah, she's definitely staying. She's definitely staying. And if she's staying, then well, the event's probably gonna come back. It seems like a lot of effort as well to invent a new currency and all that stuff. If it was just for a one-time event, do you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Hey, we made 1 hour. Finally, my throat's about to die. I don't know what that was. You guys know how quickly you can reach level cap on the steel path using disruption? My guess is something like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but I just don't know. I don't watch people like Nightmare Frame. Well, I do. I watch his YouTube, but I don't watch the streams, and I don't like watch the full runs. I say completely as a hypocrite, as I'm asking you to stay and watch me. But yeah. Oh boy. I mean, you know, stick around if you'd like, but also absolutely make sure to come back in about, I want to say 3 hours if you want to see me. If you want to see me reach the level cap for the first time. I don't know why, but I'm a little bit excited to see this number on my screen, this 9 billion trillion enemy level. I don't know, I just seen it so many times in other places. Around 2 hours if you right step it up. Yeah, that is quite fast actually. And that 2 hours, that's doing it solo, I assume. Oh man, it's bounties again. I would like to participate in the conversation, but I'm doing something else, which is painful, but whatever. I'll just drop my input when I'm done here. Yeah, when I'm finally done here. It's gonna be a lot more exciting once we get past 2S. Yeah. So right now we're gonna hit 4 hours at... When are we gonna hit that? It will be... well, it's gonna be a little bit late. Whatever. We're just gonna sit through this. It's fine. No big deal. It'll take the time it'll take. I don't need to rush it. That would be extremely pointless. Who is like really good for what's it called? Disruption. These kind of missions. I know that Ass is really good. I know that. Do you know how long it takes to level cap in Disruption? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't... Well, I mean, obviously, it could take 9 hours to level cap in Disruption. It depends upon your own abilities, but I feel like there's going to be an average towards what people normally can do, and my guess would be 2 hours, which was just confirmed, but I'm wondering in a squad if you can do it even faster than that. At least the first couple of conduits, like the first rounds, should be a lot faster. I guess. People holding keys are faster, you can finish rounds. So yeah, exactly. I would guess you can probably do, I think, in an hour and a half, maybe even like an hour and 20 minutes with a full squad if everyone is like practiced at the game mode. That would be my best guess anyways. Is this squishy for disruption by his second ability? Yeah, is it death sentence? That's totally true. I guess it's just fully armor strip is just really good. I feel like Ember has her like armor strip, but it's not good enough for disruption. So she's probably not exactly the best one. Saren is not great either. I know that from experience. But I can't really think of anyone right now, which is annoying me a little bit. Whoa, no, don't kill me. Don't kill me, be kind. Don't kill me. Okay, we got it. Ooh. S with Nazaruk. Yeah, of course Nazaruk, right? With the bands you can do pretty good. Yeah. I think actually, yeah, I think it was Nightmare Frame. I watched like recently one of his most recent videos where he did the disruption still path solo level 9,000 billion. And he did it just with Ash. And he seemed to be doing pretty well, to be honest with you. Like, he did not seem to be struggling whatsoever. These level 9 billion enemies just went down with... I mean, he had a combo where he used the lockdown to stop them and then strip them off all the armor, use Eclipse, and all of that good stuff. Which I would also use if it would help me against the enemies here, but it doesn't really. I'm talking about, like, the Acolytes. They're very annoying for some reason. They just see me even though I am invisible. And that's really annoying. But yeah, I mean, I could imagine Banshee would... I mean, is Banshee really good for that though? Isn't she a little bit too squishy? I mean, if Nyx is squishy, Banshee is like a already deflated balloon. That's what it feels like to me. The enemies just have to look at you wrong and then you just fall over flat and die. That might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but... Hope you know what I'm getting at. Yeah. Okay, so something which I've been telling people over on the Discord, I'll just mention it here as well. The drop chances for Aya is not equal. Okay? So what I mean by that is that the chance to get Aya is not the same on on the different stages, which is something which people often forget to mention. So what this means is that the first and second level on Deimos, for example, the first stages, they only have a 17% chance to drop Aya combined, whereas the final states, if you get the bonuses, of course, will have a 80% chance. It's actually less than 80%, but sometimes you get 2, so the average comes out to the same. So yeah, definitely. I mean, there's this whole idea about looping bounties. I think Tobias HD started this, which... Why would you do that? Yeah, it's my advice as someone who's done this a lot and who's looked into all the numbers. Don't loop bounties. Go to brute force. Have fun there. Get yourself some Aya. And also Mother Tokens is going to be really good for Knight of Nabarus. Okay. Syndicate squad. You are invisible? Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, they're not exactly scary, are they? Better another frame with the silence. Oh yeah, Banshee silence. I feel like silence on Banshee, on Banshee, it's her ability. But what I meant to say is that Banshee's silence is one of those underrated abilities. Just like what's her name? Octavia's Manticore is underrated. I mean, it turns off the enemy's AI, but because it's yeah, I did. It's interesting in a sense, right? Where the Manticore is such a good ability. Like, it's borderline overpowered. It just turns off the AI of the enemies, like pretty much straight up. But because it's on Octavia, who has a lot of other very, very powerful abilities, which has better synergy with one another, the Manticore is often overlooked. as like a useless ability, or at least not as good as the rest of the kit. Well, in fact, it's actually really, really good. I just think that's kind of funny. Same thing with Banshee Silence. Really, really solid ability. Though the whole Savage Silence thing with leveling, I never quite understood that, but anyway, whatever. I don't have to understand everything. It's cool. Hello there, Russian person. I definitely understood everything. Also, it's funny. I have the series where I price the ribbons, right? So a lot of people have been leaving their ribbons on the Discord after my most recent videos, right? So I went on there just to take a look at them because I like to sort of prepare a little bit as I go along. And there's some people, or some person, I guess, has just left a list of ribbons, but it's all in Spanish. So I had to sort of decode what each of the stats were on the ribbons. So a bit about in the family. Oh. 3 minutes. Yeah, I could imagine that if you have mod drop chance, then it would absolutely be worth getting in there on the steel path for sure. I hadn't really considered that. I left it in Portuguese. Oh yeah, Portuguese. Well, Portuguese, Spanish, it's basically the same thing, except it's not. That's so dumb because I actually looked it up and I found out that one of the words were in Portuguese. So I don't know why it didn't click for me that the entire message was in Portuguese, but that just goes to show how much attention I pay to those kind of stuff. Yeah, it was really funny though. I laughed a lot when I saw that it was in Portuguese. But yeah, now I wish that I hadn't looked at it just to get my genuine reaction while recording. Yeah, I found about endo in a day or less, 5 hours. Yeah, that's definitely really good. Unfortunately, you don't get any of the credits, and you also don't get any of the relics. And keep in mind that the stuff in the relics you can use for prime mods, which you can sell and then buy like sculptures or maxed out ribbons to get even more endo out of it. So on multiple levels, it's actually really, really good to use the railjack if you can at all stomach it. But yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have the double drop chance and you have a dedicated squad of people who can play through the what's called the Steel Path Arena quickly, yeah, go ahead and do that for sure. Under those niche conditions, I would probably advise you to go ahead and do that. No, it's fine. It's fine. I had time to go through and actually figure out what each of the different stats meant in Portuguese. It wasn't that difficult for the most part, but I mean the what's it called, the Dano corpo a corpo. I was pretty sure that was corpus, but then I was like, what? I have 200% corpus damage? What? That doesn't make sense. And I mean, I threw it into Google Translate and it said something along the lines of from damage to the body to the body. It's just like, what? But yeah, obviously it's base damage. I do get it now. I'm about to run out of port. What's happening? I'm not paying attention. I'm not killing fast enough. I'm lollygagging too much. I need to step it up here and actually focus for a little bit, I guess. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely see how I would think that corpo a corpo would mean corpus, though. Hold on. I can't do it. I don't have it in front of me. I would like to make a stream highlight, but I don't have the option right now. It's fine. It makes sense, actually. Consider extraction 10. No, I will never consider extraction. Oh man, I mean, when I'm playing builds with, can struggle a little bit more than this one, Just having Lotus in your ear like fucking 24/7, like you should consider extraction now. It's like, no, I should not. I should not. And you should go away. I don't like you anymore. You betrayed me. I hate you. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Lotus anymore. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I don't know. And I don't care all that greatly anyway. It makes sense, actually. Does it make sense? I guess it does. Okay, if I don't... I guess to get a little bit lucky here. Ah, I should have paid more attention. I guess I'm... Okay, I'm not gonna keep struggling with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the capsules instead. Hold on. And then we can go back there after... Oh, of course it goes down immediately, right? At least it now teleports to you, so you don't have to run all the way back for it. I'm talking about the pet here, by the way. Is it gonna die? Oh, it's not. Okay, we're good. Could you imagine if I'd accidentally let it die there? That would not have been fun. Where was I holding out before? I think it was here? Question mark? No, it most certainly was not. Where was I? I wasn't paying attention. Clearly. That was very nice. That was a nice boost. Ah, God, I can't remember where the hell I was at. And now I have to deal with this fucker before I can move on. Corpus is somewhat... Yeah, okay, so it's my mistake made sense. I don't know about that. I think what sort of tipped me off is the fact that on the same ribbon it said Grenier. So it would be a bit weird for Grenier to have their normal name, but Corpus to be different. Even though Corpus has like a meaning in English beyond just the name of the corpus. A corpus, a database of curated data. But you know, I'm dumb. That's the end of that story.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Is it now? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I won't, but I will. But I won't. Dropped waypoint. Yeah. Whatever. I know what I'm doing, and where am I? I want to say that it was down there, but I also have a very strong feeling that it wasn't down there. Yeah, this is definitely not working. I'm not getting enough life support here. I think I wanted to hold here, but then that didn't work out, and then I think I went over here, maybe? Something along those lines. Let's try and hold here. Nice long sidelines in one direction at least. We have a little bit of an annoying choke point here, but maybe we can just overcome that. Oh, cannot slide. No. Okay, I feel like I'm back in control now. A little bit. I can stop panicking so damn much. Even though I will need to find a better spot before we start getting into the thousands. Otherwise, that's not gonna work out too well for me.
Additional life support has arrived.
That's nice. That's nice, Lotus. I'm gonna try and hold here. If they walk behind that thing where I can't get them or not. Oh god, they're spawning from down there as well. This whole like layout is not good to me at all. I kind of been digged over a little bit. I'll make it work somehow. Oh, there's a lot of life support in here. What the hell? Thank you. Most in Octavia. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember one of the long-term members of our clan, Team Fortress 2. He sent me a clip of that, of him doing with Octavia, where he'd let the glass enemies just deal damage infinitely because, you know, they wouldn't die. So they could just, or get staggered, so they could just stay like in range of the hammer and just keep doing damage to it. And that was apparently very powerful. I don't know, I never thought of that actually. That's such a good idea. I guess I'm just not a Octavia main. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Let's go and look for the for my Zeppelin line. Is it in here? I feel like it was here. Like I feel like I put it there, but whatever. I guess that I didn't.
We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
I will. But I might be out of time here in a few seconds.
Tenno, extraction is ready.
Okay, I'm gonna push it to 10% here. Really, that's all? Ah, man. Alright, I guess we gotta go ahead and get the capsules again. This is kind of going very wrong, very, very fast. It was, I was doing a bit better when I was just testing, but alright. I guess it's just par for the course, huh?
Consider extraction.
I will never. Go away.
Life support has been replenished.
It sure has. Okay, I'm considering moving to the other life supports, maybe.
Life support has been replenished.
Oh, did it? Hold on. No, literally leave me alone. I need to do this. Go away. I guess I have to fight here. The second I take damage, I'm gonna roll. Okay, luckily he didn't do anything. That was a 0 luck, and that was entirely planned, and shut up. Alright. The rest of them is like a couple of 100 meters away. I want to at least take a look over here, see what else we've got. Got a nice long hallway here, but then we have this terrible, terrible room here. Oh my god. Nope, not doing that. Nah. Try and reach 100% and then see if I can, like,
Life support activated.
get a good setup again. By just pure coincidence.
I've delivered another life support capsule. Life support has been replenished.
Okay. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, sure. Okay. Don't grab it. I don't know where it's... Is that it? Please be it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try and pull my dog down here. No? Alright. I don't know what happened since all of a sudden I wasn't getting any life support anymore. That's honestly a bit strange. Whatever, we'll make it. It's just a temporary setback. That's literally all that it is.
Another life support capsule is now available.
hate to lose this now, especially considering how great our start was, you know. All right then. I'm gonna have to really push it here and take a risk. This is actually not a bad spot. Let's put a waypoint here just so that we don't forget.
Extraction is ready.
Unfortunately, the game is being really stingy about oxygen. Give me some drops. Look how many I'm killing. Give me some drops. Please, drops, please, drops. No, that cannot be it, really. Okay, 20% again. Ooh, I'm in trouble. Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Operative just found. They could not do this without him. Critical life support levels.
You don't say.
Your best option.
Ooh, sorry if I'm ignoring chat right now, but
Another life support.
Jesus, that got spicy. And that got spicy fast. Okay, I think we'll be okay now. I think we managed to scrape by enough that we can just recover from here. My God, that was stressful. At least you got 3k credits. I have 300,000 credits here? Or just 3,000? Oh, okay, I know what I mean. I know. Yeah, 3,000 credits. Yeah, right. Fucking brilliant, right? Just what I wanted for Christmas this year, actually.
Critical life support levels.
Yeah. It's fine, Lewis. It's fine. Literally, just chill out and let me handle this. Nothing, really? Oh, great. Good lord. The problem is that I have to keep, like, jumping back and forth and looking for life support instead of just, like, building up a bunch. But if we can get some capsules back up and then mark this point here, we'll probably be okay, all in all. Fingers are definitely crossed. Toes as well. All right. All right. Huh. Luckily, that wasn't a big deal. I think I almost shat out a green snowman, but whatever. That's a very Danish proverb, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. At least I hope so.
Extraction is ready.
Yes, I'm gonna grab these just in case I get knocked down here by the acolyte. Please don't knock me down. Be kind to me. I've been a good boy. Now reward me. I could very easily die here. Crit? Crit, please. Crit, please. Okay. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we fucking got him. And I thought this would be boring, just doing the same for this many hours, but no, it turns out it's actually very exciting. Kill him, yeah. Yeah, okay, I finally got to read the message on the whole still path part of killing more enemies, and yes, it's true. That's part of the challenge. I don't really know why that's a necessary challenge on top of everything else, but alright. I'll take your random RNG. Give it to me. I want all of it. Take your entire stock. Do people still quote Jontron? Is that still a thing, or am I just being old here? I feel like I'm being old. I feel like I just stated myself. Yeah, I'm from the Jontron era. I mean, I feel like we saw a resurgence with flex tape, but I mean, that's about it, right? I don't know. I don't know why I feel like I have to discuss Jontron. Like, if that's the most appropriate thing for me to be talking about at this moment in time. Living works underwater. Yes. Okay. Good. It's nice to know that I'm not the only one. It's quite nice. How are we only at level 300? I mean, it's been an hour and a half. I mean, I knew we would be here at this point, but it's kind of funny to me. It makes it seem like we're making no progress whatsoever. Then he just gave us a thumb up in the Discord chat for some reason. I'm not remotely curious about what's going on over there, and I'm fully focused about this run. Promise. That's funny.
The longer you fight, the more successful we will be.
That's funny. Something about slapping them with the might of Zeus, but I couldn't really get there. And was I... God! Wasn't fast enough. The mark had time to disappear. That would have been beautiful. A perfect clear. Screen wipe. And now I'm starting to struggle for oxygen again. I think I have to get up on my wire pretty soon if this is gonna go well. Invigoration yet? No, I haven't, and I've really been looking for it as well. There's a lot of good like secondary crit, for example, would be very nice to get on her for no particular reason. But no, I haven't. I haven't. It's so crazy. Danny, again from our Discord, he got Zephyr with like critical chance on secondary 200%. That lucky bastard. I mean, that's like the perfect outcome. And not only that, but he only just unlocked it here recently. I think it was like on the day or the day after him unlocking it, he got that. So. Oh, man. That's a lot of critical chance. It's a lot of damage as well. At least decently. I mean, I did the whole thing where I invigorated 10 frames just so that I could do it to a different one, and then I put, I think it was ability strength, 200% ability strength, or I think 100, 200, I don't remember, however much it is. I put that onto to Saren Prime, and that felt really good in terms of like farming focus with that. That was good. That felt really, really like almost perfect. Just the scaling is a little bit better. Especially because in Sanctuary Elite Onslaught, your spore count resets between rounds, so you want to be able to get off the ground a little bit faster. So that was quite fun. I think I had like energy regen as well, so I didn't even have to use Generic in order to keep my energy up. I don't remember what I used instead, though. Maybe I just used Generic anyways. Honestly, I can't remember. Have you had any particularly fun, I guess, invigorations? Something out of this world. Something a little bit extra juicy. God, running out of life support again.
Extraction is ready.
Yes, I know. Trust me, I know. Come on. I need at least one life support here, else I'm actually in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna try this group and then I'm just gonna run for the life support. Okay, good. We at least got one there. I'm gonna rush over here for this one. Another one
Critical life support levels.
up there.
Extraction is your best option.
Only one.
Activated.
That is for Zephyr. Oh. I mean, I don't know when you all have like different names on different platforms, right? I feel like you guys are just fucking trolling the hell out of me right now. Which honestly is what I deserve, but it's still, I don't know, it's kind of funny to me. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I thought that the invigoration system would just, will you bleed please? Would just completely break the game. But after like trying it for a while, it actually feels pretty balanced. Like I haven't really gotten anything too crazy, as I just said, and I've had it for a while. Obviously, you can force it, but only every 3rd week. So yeah, I guess I was worried about nothing. That happens a lot, by the way. I'm just gonna try this open room, see how that feels for a little while. Probably won't like it, but it's worth a try, I feel.
We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
I mainly want this room to work because it's right next to a life support capsule. So hopefully I could just sit here and then grab that over and over again without ruining my rotation. That would be great. Let's try and make that happen. Find up all of these. Take them out quickly. See if I can find the enemy with the tag on them. Nope. No such luck today. No, sir. Or did I just kill them without... I think I killed them without even noticing the fact that he had the thing on them. That just shows you how much attention I pays. Looking like Dark Knight. I'm not sure I want to know what that means. Okay, hold on. Give me a second and I'll definitely go ahead and fix that. I thought the screen was giving me a bit more light than it was. But I guess it wasn't. The natural light wasn't quite powerful enough. Oh, hold on. Need to grab this. Come on. Go down a little bit faster, will you? Goddamn acolyte. Not now. Where is he?
Critical life support has arrived. Critical life support levels.
Yes, I know. Thank you. I know. Yes, extraction is ready. It's my best option. I know. I understand this. I understand this perfectly fine. I need to deal with this acolyte. I can't just leave him alive. But where the hell is he? Maybe I can just leave him alive. Maybe that's actually for the best. And if he can't bother me, then he can't be a bother, right? That makes sense. Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and fix the light, because this is getting a little bit ridiculous. Let's see. There. Better than nothing, right? Alright. And there goes the life support. Great, that's... I'm so pleased. That just... It's okay, it was a bad spawn anyways, we'll just do it a different day. It's not a big deal at all. It's not like I needed that to work out or anything. Let's get out of here. Baby's first Endless was a fucking disaster. You know what? You know what the worst part is, by the way? It's kind of funny to me, but it's very unfortunate because god damn it, I've tested this many times before, and I've done incredibly well every time. This is the first time that I've like really, yeah, with viewers, right? Because I've done so well like all the other times. So I figured I'll just stream it because, you know, I don't have to record this and make a video of it. I can just stream it because I'll do incredibly well, like I have. I know, like I have all the other times, and then it will be perfectly fine, and I won't have to fucking. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh no. Oh no, don't clip this. For God's sake, do not clip this. No one needs to know that this happened. Oh no. Oh, god damn it. You guys are never gonna let this down, are you? Oh man. Ah. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, I think maybe I'll just like yeah, god damn it. Okay, someone like we made it to around like 2 hours just about, I think. So what I'll do next time is that I'll just go ahead and play on my own so that I can get back to 2 hours, and then I'll boot up the stream from there so that you guys don't have to watch me do this again. And then I'll be sure that I have a proper fucking spot before I just start recording. Excuse the name, I was 12. Hide inside sandbox. Okay, actually, I have a really funny story for you guys. So one of my mates, one of the guys who I first played Warframe with, he got back into the game recently after not playing for, I think, 5 years or something like that. And and then he had to he accidentally deleted 20 prime mods or something like that. So he had to contact the customer service of Warframe and basically request if they could restore them, which they did. But then at some point they asked him, okay, what's your name in game? And it's like, it's Butthole. Yes, I'm sorry, it's dumb. I was young. And then they didn't even say anything. They just gave him a free name change. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I have at least 40 minutes more, and then I'll just have to fucking end the stream now, because then I'll have to prepare for next time instead. I feel like I could go for some relics, maybe. I want to show you guys, because there's a lot of you who've talked about using Gauss, which is what I used to do. But then I remembered that Thermal Fracture, which is really good for killing, trash enemies. Yeah, I know, Butthole, right? But anyways, Titania, which is really good at killing, thermal, I think it's called Thermal Sunder. That's the ability you kill with. You can just take that and put it on another Warframe. And if you remember, Titania has her Razorwing Blitz augment, and this allows her to go outrageously fast because it's not 25%, it's 25% multiplied by your ability strength. So even with this amount of ability strength, you can get a lot of speed. And then while in your Wisp Arcwing mode, you can still cast Thermal Sunder. Right? So I just want to show you guys that, and then after that I think I'll be too embarrassed to keep playing. Oh no, I can't believe I dropped the ball so hard at the end. No. I honestly feel really stupid about that. I'm really embarrassed about that. It's like, it's on solo, it's paused. I have a lot of like spare resources, and I have so much air support, and I can just go and get the lamp, and it won't completely ruin everything. Said the soon-to-be dumbass. Me, if anyone was wondering. Alright, so, but anyways, you go into your Arcwing mode, and then you just go through the level like this with like too much speed to control anyways, Cast your Thermal Thunder. Kill everything. Make sure to pick up the reactant. I'm not going to do it too fast because I want my teammate to have a chance to actually keep up. But you can see here, you can just fly over here, wait for him to get... Oh, well, I guess he can't get infected because he's the captured target. I'm sure my team will pick that up for me. Like the good little boys they are. Thank you. Now let's see if we can find some more enemies to actually... I don't hope that it will pull one of those unfortunate missions where there is just not enough enemies. Oh no, it looks fine. Thermal Thunder. Everything dies. Move on up here. Enemies, Thermal Thunder. I don't know. I really like this setup. This is hilarious to me. I should probably wait for the practice to happen. Now that I think about it. But I just sort of assumed that they would, but I'm going through it a little bit too quickly. I think I missed something. Oh yeah. I most certainly missed something. The reactant for the relic that I'm trying to open. It's being really wonky right now. But yeah, definitely, I don't know, is this worth it being a video? I feel like not a lot of people is gonna watch the entire VOD of me completely screwing up the endless survival. So maybe it's deserving of its own video so that everyone can see this brilliant build and we can forget about what just happened a couple of minutes ago, right? It's basically already forgotten, right? Literally none of you remembers what just happened. Shut up. Don't do this to me, okay? It was just a mishap. Like, things happen. This does not have to become a meme on the channel. Like, you can choose not to do it. You can do better, right? You can be better people and spare me from my own mistakes. Also, I'm not paying attention to the game right now. Okay, for those of you who are not on the Discord, let me go ahead and read out the message that I just... I'll take Titania. She's about to get vaulted. But let me just go ahead and read out the message which I just got on Discord before I go ahead and just... Friendly reminder. Tips for remembering to activate live support is in video suggestions. Oh, you silly you. Okay, anyways, stream's over, but either this Sunday or next Wednesday, depending upon how busy I'll be, I'll go ahead and continue the stream, and I'll be sure to just play up to the point where we were already at and then start stream from there. I will probably start at, I think, 4 or 5 GMT or something like that. But I'll be sure to announce that on the Discord. So thank you guys for spending your time with me this day. And watch me completely nail my first level cap without any mishaps. And when this stream disappears all of a sudden by just random corruption and coincidences, no one will know just how well it went, so I'll have to do another stream so I can demonstrate to everyone just how good I am at this fucking game. Anyways, thank you